Joel Kelso. Welcome back.
Cheers, mate. Good to be back.
That's what the hour was? Just saying.
I know, just saying his name.
Just saying his name.
Hey, quote the great Murray Walker, the less you say, the better it is. Okay?
So just for our listeners real quick, Tom's like, I'll do the intro. I've had an hour in the car to really think about it. And all you got was, name, Joel.
I was expecting a bit more, mate.
Well, normally we go, how are you, boys? And everything's boys. Mate, appreciate coming back.
Hey, first repeat guest.
Yep.
How good's
There
that?
you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's very exciting. And I know you've got a very busy schedule over the next week, so I really appreciate it, mate.
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Yeah, back for a week and good to squeeze this in.
So what do you got planned back in Oz?
Just catching up, honestly, with the people. Try to lock in everything for next year, get that sorted, and try to regroup and come back strong in the second half as well. So try to come back here and work on the things that we need to work on. And
awesome.
Go from there.
Well, we met your manager Murray. He's a lovely fella. So I've heard you've sort of hooked up with him in the last year or so, and things have progressed really nicely for you with the contract next year, obviously.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It's just a friendship that turned into him being the manager, let's say, if we put a label on it. But really, it's just a mate that's helping out and making things happen behind the scenes and taking the workload off me of worrying about that. I can just worry about going racing and try to win out there, and that's about it, So I think that's been really important as well, just being able to focus on what I need to do.
So last time we spoke, you were living in Mallorca. Has that changed? I heard you might be living in Barcelona now.
Yeah, exactly. Now living out in Barcelona, so we just changed it up this year because you got to get adventurous. If you're always staying on the same thing, then you can't expect change.
Yeah.
So we moved out to Barcelona. It's heaps different, so I'm really enjoying it out there as well. Like just training with different guys, and it's been a good experience, to be honest. Yeah.
Lots of cycling still.
Yeah, heaps of cycling and everything, but we're just doing a bit more like motocross, flat track, and that's just awesome to do with also top-level riders as well. So, I'm really, really enjoying it, mate. Like, it's just, it's different experience as well because, like, in Mallorca, we were, like, more closed off and it was just, like, us boys. And now it's, like, so many different people. Maybe you rock up one day and Marquez is there, right? And you're riding with Marquez. Or and next day you rock up and we're training with, I don't know, some World Superbike riders, something like that. So it's just good to be with a variety of riders, and you can only learn from the best if you're training with them. So,
that's it. Yeah, I was just having a quick chat to Murray before we jumped on, and I've heard you got a new performance coach, and who trains the Marquez boys, and like you got to, if you want to be the best, you got to train with the best, and learn off the best as well.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So that was a hard thing because ever since I went to Europe, pretty much after the first year, I did it alone after once. I joined Leopard and stuff like that in the junior rankings and all that. I hooked up with this trainer, Angel, that I was with for 4 years. And so it was definitely hard to change. And, it's a big step to change because you don't want to make a change, do you? Everyone loves their comfort zone and be in that place. So it was a decision I had to take to obviously move to Barcelona. It wasn't the choice of actually change a trainer, essentially. It was more the location because there's other opportunities out in Barcelona that Mallorca couldn't provide anymore. And it was good because it took me out of comfort zone, and I think that was actually good for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Talk to us just a little bit about the team next year. What's its Impact GP? Is that correct?
No, what's it?
Level Up MTA.
Level Up MTA. My apologies.
Yeah.
So talk to us how that contract came around, how it started. Is it someone in that team that have known for a while? Yeah,
well, the first team I joined officially in Europe was in Italy. I raced in Moto3 as a wildcard with MTA. And then that next year it was Leopard, but MTA was the runner, as in the same owner and everything like that. And Leopard was just a sponsor and the connection, right? But I already had the relationship with all the people pretty much in there. And obviously the crew inside's different, but the owner and stuff. So we've always had a good contact and always been in touch. And then, we started the season really well. I think we'll P3 in the championship for a couple of races. And that, raised eyebrows for people. And we had quite a few offers and already we're speaking. And then, honestly, the best decision for me was to go back to a place that I already know and secure the future early as well, because last year was an absolute nightmare and it was not good for anyone. So, the best option was to get it locked in straight away. And, everyone was like, oh, you locked in super fast. And I'm like, yeah, but what's wrong with that? You know, like
Yeah, that's
securing
right.
my future and just focusing on the rest of this year and going ahead with it, especially since like, yeah, I'm really happy to be with the team that I've been back with, and I think we can do really great things next year, and that's what we need to do, and we're aiming to do.
That's it, and like it's good because like at least a bit the pressure's off. You don't have to worry about another ride or like your future. Like you're locked in. You can kind of just concentrate on this season and next season as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why you do it, because then every time like this comes around, you hinder your results for, you know, even if you say, oh, don't let it get to me, you hinder your results a little bit, you know, always, you know, for a minimum of 3-4 races, because it goes on for some time, you know. And yeah, honestly, I got offer already in America from a couple. Jerez, I was like, oh, look, I'm just holding off a bit, and then I was like, why am I holding off? You know, like let's just go for this. So yeah, and then I locked it away before I can't think I think it was Le Mans after that. So yeah, locked that away super early. And yeah, obviously it's sad to leave the team that I'm at now, and yeah, obviously I'm really enjoying my time there with the crew, and I gelled with them really well this year, and everything was going smoothly. But yeah, things got to change sometimes. Yeah.
No, that's so good to hear. Do you find like it must make such a big difference when you're in a team and it's like a bit more of a family atmosphere where everyone just gels really well compared to obviously not being that?
Yeah, for sure. Because like at the end, we got to travel, you know, a whole year with someone. You know, like it's not essentially is a friend group, because if not, like we're pretty much living together. You know, every week we're seeing each other. My crew chief I literally see every 4 days, because if we're not catching up at the racetrack, I catch up with him outside the racetrack for a coffee, because if not, like we're like the closest mates now, because it's the people we see the most. And it's super, super important, because, you know, like in the last couple of races, it's been hard, right? Just like for feeling on the bike and whatever or whatnot. So it's really good to have that relationship that you're so close with your crew chief and all that, because, you know, we're meeting outside the race weekends and we'll catch up trying to figure out a strategy, how we're going to move forward and do better. You know, and that's when you can make one step over the others, you know, because others are, you know, don't have that relationship with their crew chief or whatever, because it's more just like work and then that's it, you know. And it's really, really important to have that friendship, and also, like, you can imagine if you're mates with someone, you want your mate to do better, you know. So he's out there working as hard as possible, but not for the paycheck. He's working out there to make it better and give me the opportunity to fight for race wins.
That's it. And like it's trust, isn't it? Like trust is a big thing with mates, I guess. And if you got the trust with him, then you can go so far.
And you see it in motorsport all the time, where like when the team's gelling, everything's going so much better and everyone trusts each other, and it just produces better results. We actually spoke about this, I think, last week. Totally off topic, but like we look at Red Bull F1 team, and in the off season and their team at the moment, it's just gone, you know, there's so many issues. And then on the racetrack now, there's issues and they're not going as well. So it always goes hand in hand.
100%.
Yeah.
If you upset the tree, it's not gonna flow well. And like I said, with all the races that you're together as well, you can't have that like 4 weeks off to take a reset. You know, when you're you know, you're like sick of hanging out with one person. You're like, I need a break. We don't get that. You know, you can't have that, because you literally 3 days later got to see him, because the next weekend, but for us it finishes Monday because we fly back, and then we're back together on Wednesday, you know, Arvo. So it's literally 2 days, you know.
How hard is it on the teams with all these races this year? Is it like, I remember being in the back of the paddock at Phillip Island, and like back to back races, they were like, we're spent, you know. Like how hard is it on them?
Yeah, it's hard. Honestly, it's super, super hard. But in one aspect is hard, but we're putting on a show for everyone.
Yeah,
you know? And
it's a pretty cool place to be as well.
It's a cool place to be, and a lot of people love it, you know. And like, I mean, depends, you know, where your mindset is at that moment. Like I said, though, if everything's flowing, like right now with the team, everyone's super happy inside, and everyone has a good relationship, you're happy traveling around, you know. You don't mind it. You're traveling with your mates. You're going to see the world, and you play racing bikes. Like, what else can you ask for?
I know, true.
You know, like maybe it was a little bit more hard example last year. The relationship wasn't as great in their environment. Not with my crew chief, but with the atmosphere in the team. And yeah, it was a bloody nightmare. The end of the year was just everyone, like, we didn't want to be with them. So we're like, what do we do? You know, and we're trying to not travel together. Like, we're trying to go our separate ways, and it's just shit.
That's shit. Yeah. You got to be. It's a good team at the end of the day. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's a team.
Exactly.
I mean, we were so excited for you with that contract next year. Like, because I think when Daniel and I were talking to you last time, it was you were searching for a good result, and the start of this year, two couple of fifth places, you're up there in nearly every race. Like, it's such a good thing to see, and it makes it exciting for the Aussies as well. Like, we talk about you all the time.
Yeah,
like we love watching Moto3 because we get to see Joel race around.
Yeah, and because now we know you, it's like even more exciting.
It's so exciting.
It's so fun. And Moto3, like, I don't even know how more can get more exciting because every race is just fucking wild.
I know.
It's a lottery, isn't it?
It is. I know, and it's like. And watching that race, like you go, oh, why can't you do this? Why has that person done that? And then like it just must be so intense in the pack.
Yeah. What are you thinking when you're in those front packs?
Oh, it's hard to think at that time because one person's crashing that way and the other one's going that way. You know, it's always a big group and anything can happen at any time. So it's I think you just got to improvise a bit, don't you? You just got to,
Something that really stuck with me last time you said. If I was racing in Australia, they would see me as the most aggressive rider out there. Exactly. But when you're up against all those little Spanish kids, just like built into them to be just overly aggressive, isn't it?
Or that one little fast Colombian.
It's just a different breed.
Yeah,
you know? Like it's in like they grew up doing that, so that's their natural instinct just to be out there racing. Yeah.
Well, before you got here, Tom, we were talking about it, and they. In Spain, it's like a part of the school curriculum almost is racing.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So they have like like CEDA here in Australia. They have that pretty much over there. And like example, Ethan, he went to that school and then he'd come to training. I'd be at training. They bring him with a van and the bikes and everything for him to ride. Like it's literally like our AFL or something.
Yeah. And they can you can just go to a racetrack and just get van, unpack and race. It's
gold,
It's like in Australia you have to get permits and this and that.
That's what we were saying. It rains, everything gets cancelled.
Exactly. You can't go to like many tracks and just ride,
Yeah, I know that was a big thing. Like, and they're open all the time. Like you can just go there and pay the entry fee and go. It's like so different here.
Every day it's open, so.
Yeah, that's nuts. Or like, as you said, you got like a group chat of people, you rent out that track and, you got your own personal track and you just split it with whoever you're going with. Like, how good's that?
Exactly. Like, you make a phone call and you can have the track completely to yourself for a whole day for a couple $100, You split that between everyone. You set,
We need to buy some land in Spain and just rent it out to GP riders.
You're paying $30 or something and you get it all day of riding. Like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, how good's that?
$30 breakfast on the way to the track these days.
It is. Point.
It's crazy.
I know.
It's $200 to ride at Broadford, and Broadford's not that great.
And you're spending $500 at Phillip Island, I would say. Yeah,
and
that's without you got to be in the back of the paddock. That's not the pit lane or anything like that.
Oh,
so
that'll probably be with a garage.
500?
500, thereabouts. But then you got to factor in if you're
tires
quick, you're doing tires, you're doing
chain
fuel,
sprockets,
chain sprockets, like
weather.
You know all about it.
Got to get down there.
Phillip Island, you can go in the middle of summer, it's going to be terrible. You just don't know what you're going to get. So,
to be fair, that's just like cost of living at the moment. And
well,
they
there's
have
that
to.
too.
Oh yeah, it's
even
crazy.
It's impossible. I had a ham and cheese toasty this morning at a coffee, and it cost me like $24.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's literally a highway robbery.
Is it expensive here in Australia?
Oh mate, it is outrageous.
Yeah,
honestly, I've never seen it like so bad like this.
So Barcelona, talk to us where you live. Is it like a little town, or is it like, or are you living in the heart of the city?
Yeah, so I live in like a city called Sabadell. It's like 20 minutes from Barcelona and then probably about 30, 40 minutes from where I train every day. And it's good for one reason. Like, then I could live where I'm training, but it's like a little bit more further out. And I'd rather live around the city. It's just a better atmosphere.
A bit more vibrant.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going out for dinner and
you can go out for dinner.
No, he just eats at home.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I hope you're out for dinner and enjoying the nightlife.
Nah, like for sure. But like, then... Well, not home for much. So to be honest, I actually enjoy eating at home because you're not home much. Like to get that home cooked meal is decent, especially when like every week we're traveling now. So
yeah, it would take its, as I touched on earlier, it would take its toll. Like sure. It's amazing. It's amazing sport and it's an amazing career. But living out of a suitcase 6 months of the year, it'll weigh on you.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what's strange? Like, I love the flyaway races, like the Asia route. Come back to Australia, obviously. It's also one point that helps a lot, but. I love that sort of like Asia route trips, each week racing in a different country. I really enjoy it. Like the European scene's obviously awesome, but my favourite is the Asia route because like it's something completely different. It's the lifestyle is completely different. It's like
it's two different things.
Oh yeah, exactly. Mate, you're taking the scooter, you go and chasing monkeys around. Like, literally last year we were on a scooter for like $5 a day or whatever, and going up in the mountains with your
yeah.
bloody shoes and a helmet on, you like, you know,
Yeah.
chasing around, you know, monkeys.
Yeah,
and,
that's cool.
putting monkeys in your teammates' room and stuff. Actually, I rented a monkey for like, I can't remember. It's like 25 Aussie bucks or something. And he wanted
Is that what they call them these days?
Yeah, exactly. and just like put it in the room and stuff. It's jumping around.
Fucking hell, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's
God.
wild.
It's cold.
Well, you had a good, talking about the flyaway races. I think we did our pod before you came out last year. Was it the middle of the season?
Nah,
No,
it
it
was
was post-season.
after.
Oh, it was
Post-season.
after season. Yeah.
post-season.
Yeah, because I think we already spoke to you about obviously that win, that podium at Phillip Island.
Yeah.
Like that was insane. James, you weren't here for that, but like the winds, the howling that day, you just came out and just
Yeah, that was wild.
It was wild, and we were actually sitting. I already told this story, but we were sitting at turn one with like some family members of yours. It was
Yeah.
just like a crazy experience
Some
for us.
cousins or something.
Talk us through that day again, just for the people who haven't listened to the first pod, because it was a crazy day.
Well, I hope to remake it this year. But,
You will. You'll win this year.
Yeah. I think I got to top it up and win now. So, it was like you said, it's a special moment for not only me but for everyone, for the Australian people. It was just incredible to be on the podium at home GP. Like, I mean, you can't ask for much more. And obviously the conditions were tricky, but all weekend we'll top three. So
Would they be the hardest conditions you've ever raced in?
yeah, I think anyone
Wow.
would say the same. Like, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? That
The
day?
wind.
Yeah, that was shocking that day.
Who went off on turn one? Vietti just got blown off.
Blown straight off and straight over the handlebars. Almost end up in the Bash Straight.
Yeah.
Remember on the outlap, 4 people crashed.
Yeah, that's right.
Over the grid. 2 of them had concussions.
Yes.
It was bad, yeah.
Is there a concussion rule in?
Yeah, there is, but I don't know what happened that day. Yeah, it was a big blow up thing after because they let both of them ride with concussion. Yeah,
They're probably like, babbity, send him out.
Go for gold, you know. But no, they were definitely tricky conditions when they like.
Man, it was hard enough being a fan. I don't know how you're on a bike.
I don't know how they let us race, to be honest. I mean, for me, it was perfect. But
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
That's what you want, those mixed conditions, I suppose, and show your real skill.
Nah, you always prefer the dry, and especially like I'd way prefer it because like the podium would have been so much more enjoyable.
Oh,
The
true.
podium.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
showed like fuck. I got this podium because I was like fast enough. You know, the
Yeah.
tricky condition to go this, that. You know, like
Yeah, we did miss like running on the track after the main race and stuff
yeah.
this year. I mean,
that's
hopefully,
what I was most disappointed about.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm keen for this year. You know,
Yeah.
I know.
this year will be good. Dry race. Race win.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Pole, fast
exactly.
lap.
Exactly. I can
Grand
see it
slam.
happening.
Grand
exactly.
slam. Yeah.
And
Imagine
Something.
It's such a special track, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Is it the best in the world?
For me, yeah. It's special. It's so fast and flowing. It's like like you said, they drawed that track or something. They didn't make it with a computer, and that's why it's so
Yeah.
special. You know, something like that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
iconic, and every rider says that it's one of their favorites. So
Yeah.
it's one of the specialist tracks in the world.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
We're
we,
just lucky enough to have that in our front doors.
I know, it's
Yeah.
amazing. We had a
That's good.
pod with Travis Ewell, the CEO of Grand Prix Australia, and we're saying to him, like, it is the best track, you know, and like if they went to the Bend or something, it'd be a travesty, you know, because like even though the facilities are probably not up to scratch to where you go in Europe and stuff, it's just that racing is just the best.
Yeah. Well, they're making a new track, aren't they now though? Which
Yeah,
is,
they are. Yeah.
interesting to see, but it's going to be sad if Phillip Island leaves and they end up
surely
going to the
not.
other track. I think they will.
We'll
to be
pick
honest,
it.
you know, they will have to.
We'll pick it at the front if they take it away.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I think they will because at the end, why would you build another track then if not?
Where's this other track?
Just next to the airport.
Really? This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, because they want to do it because then it's obviously close to the city. Because they want to make it more like F1, especially even more now with Liberty Median. And it makes sense because like Phillip Island's like incredible. Don't get me wrong, and the track's incredible. But really, it is a nightmare to get to, you know. Like, for us, it's all right. But, like, how good would it be to be able to get on a bus and go from the city to the track? Yeah, like a shuttle bus.
Can't.
Maybe for the riders.
No, I don't mean for us. I mean for, like, the fans. Because then more people would come out.
Yeah, we love it. We're gonna hearts down there though, Joel.
Yeah.
It's like
for sure. Also me. But the thing is like, they want spectators.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's
Like
the
you
thing.
seen-
for the sport, you're saying I get it. You're saying
Exactly.
it'd be better for the sport
For
in
us,
Australia. Yeah,
like Aussies, we want to keep it there. But
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
sport itself,
yeah.
It
to
needs
make
to be
it more,
closer.
yeah, exactly, and
I
that's the only way to do it.
I really see this Liberty Media takeover as a massive advantage for you guys.
Oh, it's already proven
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah,
just the way that they do the structure of everything, like is in record numbers every race. I mean, I know last year that was like that, but that was just because of after COVID.
Yeah.
Now it's literally happened just because of promotion and
Yeah.
they the structure of doing it, like as in they got the mentality the same as like with F1. They prefer more people, less ticket pricing. They make money from like people buying drinks or whatever or whatnot, you know, and that is how it should be. I remember, when was it, last year or something, there was almost no one at Mugello because they put the ticket price up after COVID.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? You
I
know?
remember we were talking about that
So-
last year, and like there was just massive gaps in the like you could
Exactly.
see it in the hill where like traditionally,
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
And this year, okay, it wasn't back to its full, but also we don't have Rossi anymore. Like that was the main reason it was so big. And then, like it's already doing way better. And I think England will be a big event, you know, because like F1 last weekend was what, 500,000, 500,000.
Yeah, they got 500,000, which is
incredible.
wild, and a crazy result for the British as well, with Hamilton winning.
Yeah. Well, then like in France, what do we have? 290. So I think soon we'll be in that bracket of F1 that we can get 400, 500,000.
I know
people out.
every race they're breaking the record. I think Jerez was funny because they
announced the wrong numbers.
They released the wrong numbers. They released the capacity rather than what they actually got or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they had to go back on what they said.
I think it was like 80 or 100,000 people off. Almost.
Yeah, it was
a lot. It was a lot.
But I think it can't fit that many. It's a small sort of a track, I suppose.
The French though, like Le Mans, like they get up
They
and about
love
and they're
it.
singing the national anthem. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's massive. Le Mans is like a weekend that's like special, you know?
Yeah.
It's the one weekend that like it's probably horrible for the riders though, because like if we sleep at the track in like a motorhome or whatever, can't sleep. Like it's literally just chainsaws and bikes going.
I never
literally
realised this.
24
I
hours a
always
day.
thought it was Mugello was the crazy place.
It used to be, but
Yeah.
now Magello's like, well, to be fair, Magello was quite a crazy issue because everyone's got the chainsaws now. So it's like the new thing. The chainsaw with a massive exhaust pipe. 24 hours a day, just by smacking the thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but Le Mans like that, and I don't know how many motorbikes they would go through, mate. They'd blow up that many engines. Like literally, you just listen in the bikes the whole time on the limiter. You know, you're there.
Jeez.
Feel bad for the bike.
I saw a video. They must have had like hotels or something near the track, and this guy backed in his like old Gix 1000, backed it into the door, and this guy and his missus was sleeping in the bed, and then they just did a massive burnout and like smoked the whole room, and like the chicks cracking it and yelling. I'm just like, oh my god,
Good on him, but
I know. I heard a story from my crew chief. He reckons like it used to be. It's a little bit better now, but they used to like light cars on fire. You know?
That's insane.
Yeah, so like you'd buy like $1,000 like heap of crap, you know, and then just go light it on fire, you know, like, and everyone gets around with a motorbike. So that's mental.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Absolutely
Fucking
mental.
hell.
Yeah.
What? So Le Mans the craziest you reckon for the year? Most parties.
Yeah, for most parties and
Yeah.
stuff for sure. Where else would be? Jerez is always like, quite big, obviously.
That looked wild this year.
Yeah.
Actually, it
Yeah.
looked cool to be at.
Yeah, Jerez.
And they're good.
Masano is quite good as well.
Yeah.
Not really for the people, but there's like as in there's not that many people because the capacity is not that big.
Yep.
But they have like the main street that's like 10 minutes away, and that's always full.
yeah, that would be cool. So that's why we love Phillip Island as well. Cows, you go down the main
Cows,
street,
yeah.
and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's pretty wild.
Yeah, exactly.
So Mazzano 2 races in a row this year. When did you guys find? Did you find out about that a few weeks ago? Or was it?
No, literally we found
really?
out. Like I knew because they said like a little bit about Qatar or Portugal. Qatar is like 42 degrees.
Yeah,
mate,
I
so
heard.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they even thought it was going to be possible there. But anyways, especially like coming back here, I hopped out in Dubai and literally walked from the plane to the bus, and I was like, glad we're not racing. You know? And then they said Portugal, but it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do that? You'd be better off just staying at the same racetrack and then flying straight from there to Lombok in Indonesia. So, makes sense. Honestly, I would have preferred that they try to find a race in Europe, outside of Europe.
Okay.
Only because, like, if not, we're just always in Europe. You know, it's like the super bikes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the race in
There's
Europe.
there's one round
One
outside
round.
of Europe, and it's
exactly.
Australia.
Yeah.
It's
It would
crazy.
have been good if they put Australia the Bend, another race.
Yeah, that'd be
that
cool.
would have been good. Yeah,
That'd be
But
awesome.
I think that's never gonna happen.
Oh,
But-
we're too woke here. We'd have been too much money or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
bullshit. But
yeah,
anyway.
we wouldn't want to give them enough.
Yeah, I know. It's just something. But I thought Hungary was supposed to be the reserve race. Like, whatever happened to that?
Track safety.
Yeah,
Actually,
right.
I
Okay.
believe, yeah, they never got. I don't know what. Like a lot of politics are behind it. You know, so
Yeah,
like
of course.
You know, they don't want to change their idea on like some safety thing, and then you just have no hope. You know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
As soon as that word gets brought
or
up.
I think it was in India. They had the government change or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so politics there, we couldn't do that. So it was a bit of a nightmare, but honestly, it happens, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all a part of it, and so it's difficult to build a racetrack to go race bikes. So not
Well,
easy.
that's it. Yeah, I mean, you need runoff, and there's obviously street racing and stuff's impossible.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon of the most the modern MotoGP? What do you think of this season? Is it just wild in the paddock being there?
Well, yeah, it would be. Well, it's interesting to see now with Marquez back at the front. How cool is that? And it's good to see. And now they've updated the rules for, when was it, 26, 27?
Yeah, 27.
27. Yep. I think that'll be really, really good to see. Back to a little bit better old school style, as in less with the aerodynamics and all that sort of stuff.
You're a fan of it?
I mean, I love what they're doing now because it's awesome to see. It's kind of like their F1, isn't it? How much development goes
pinnacle,
into it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to be controversial, but you don't see any comments really about riders at the moment. In MotoGP, it's always okay, my brand's not doing well enough.
Yeah, it's always about the bike.
My bike's not good enough to be at the front. You know what I mean? It'll be good when it brings it back and everyone's on the more or less a same playing field. It's like in Moto3 and Moto2. Okay, it definitely makes a difference. The bike, you can say, okay, I didn't feel well with the bike. Every now and again. But at one point, also, you got to be okay, it's also a group effort, the bike and the rider, So, it'll be good when that comes back, a little bit back into just how it used to be, that rider's the best, or, that rider's figured it out, And it comes just down to setup, which setup definitely makes a difference on a race weekend and is the difference of being at the front or the back. But I guess now, and it's not just the riders, it's not the riders that are doing that. It is how it is because you can see it's a regular thing. The one brand is at the back now.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not the rider. So I'm not saying it's the rider, but I'm saying it'll be good once the rules come back to where it gives opportunity for be the rider that makes a difference, not just the brand.
Yeah, we've spoken about this over the last few weeks. That it used to be 60% rider, 40% bike. Now it's probably reversed the other way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, even more. It'd be now MotoGP would be 70-80% just the bike.
Yeah.
Because at the end, there's only so much with the error that they're doing, and then the updates that they can do to try to make it up to catch the number one brand at the moment, which is Ducati, obviously. Is so hard because it takes so much development. It doesn't just happen overnight. They have to try to figure out what's actually wrong with it, and then they got 6 months to try to produce the part.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The season's over.
You look at KTM; they just nearly got there, and then they've just fallen off massively compared to what I suppose Aprilia and what Ducati are doing.
Well, yeah, in one aspect of the thing, but it will come back around because from my understanding, they can't restrain the effort they're putting in. Ducati, the amount of budget it takes to develop and to be the number one brand and always going above everyone else and creating new things is too much to keep that sustainable. So they always bring it back. So probably for the last 2 years they haven't developed as much a bike as what they did 2 years ago when they made the massive step, was it? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And the other brands are having to spend all this money to do it. And you see the brands that excel is like KTM and stuff like that because they have that big backing behind them and they have the knowledge of, they have the F1 Red Bull and stuff that because now they have a lot of F1s working in the paddock with aerodynamics and stuff.
Yep.
Obviously there is a Aprilia, but the Aprilia doesn't have the budget like they do, like KTM and Ducati. Honda will find its way back, although I think that now with that new rules, I'm pretty sure they're just going to wait off.
It makes the most sense.
You're not going to spend a couple $100 million just to try to fix it for 1 year. But
and maybe get back to 10th or something like that.
Yamaha, I think they will keep trying to figure it out until the moment that they change back to 990.
If you're on hypothetically a winning Moto2 bike and you got offered a contract right now for a Honda, would you take it?
100%.
Yep. Or you want to be in that main class?
You just want to be in MotoGP, don't you? And also, at the end, you only have to do the best result that bike can. And people can see that, with that bike, that team that you're with, let's say, if you're beating your teammate and you're top Honda or you're fighting for the top Honda, right? You're obviously on something all right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily, it looks bad, you're not in the front, but like you said,
They don't look at that. They don't look at
70 or
that.
80% of the bike
Yeah.
now. So then
Yeah.
they can understand how it is, And I mean, like what are Moto2 riders meant to do? Like they're not just going to stay in Moto2. Like they also need to step up
they need
and
to
live.
progress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was
100%.
the interesting thing though of Iogura, because apparently he kind of got like a contract for Honda and he turned it down because he just kind of looked at it like, well, who knows what he looked at it, but from the
Yeah.
outside it looked like, yeah, no thanks, not right now.
But I don't think that had to do with that is to a Honda. I think it was the conditions that they put.
Okay.
I could be wrong there, but what I understand is that there's like the Honda obviously do that agreement from when they go from the Asian Cup
Yeah.
all the way Moto3, Moto2 and stuff like that, and he wanted to get out of that. And I don't know what actually it is the reason behind it, but I actually know a couple that want to get out of that, and not be in it because it's locked in for whatever the whole time you're in MotoGP. I think.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
And a few people got out, like Ogura and stuff, and that's why he went to MT Helmets.
Yeah.
It's happened before. I can't remember the rider, but yeah, and it happens a bit because the problem is that I don't think that like they don't know. First of all, Ogura wasn't getting paid what he should have been getting paid, like as in for fighting for a championship.
Yeah.
Because,
okay.
but I understand because the brand Honda have invested in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So they took the investment, but then as a rider, you look at it and go, yeah, but that doesn't pay my bills.
Yeah.
So that's where the relationship goes sour, And yeah, I think the way that they put it to me is you go to MotoGP this next year with us, or you never go with us.
Yeah, right. Just
And
seems like such a
I think
career
his
killer.
attitude was, well, if you're going to put a gun to my head like
Oh, is that what it's coming
Yeah.
from? So it's like a bit of fuck you. I'll make my decision, not
Exactly.
be forced my hand.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, because you're forcing his hand. You got to
Yeah.
go with us, or you're never going to come with us.
He's had his chances though.
Which would be, but at the end, if he's fighting for the championship, whereas he can go to a better bike, which
Yeah.
is fact. He can go
Yeah.
to a Yamaha.
Yeah.
Or well, Yamaha's not much better, but like Aprilia or Ducati even. If the right opportunity comes,
Yeah.
but it's just a matter of time. MotoGP is about that, and that's what happened with me. Like we almost didn't have a ride, and then we came back, and then start the season with top 3 in the championship.
Yeah.
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 So the things can change super fast in motorbike world, and
Yeah.
you know how it all works. You just got to be persistent and
Yeah.
always be there at the end, try and fight, and
Yeah.
never giving up.
Yeah, you just have to be in the paddock, and that's what we spoke about last time. You go, I had to fork out some cash and find sponsors and stuff, but I needed to be there this year because otherwise it was, who knows, could have been it.
Exactly, mate.
You could have been working with Maranello at
Exactly.
Foo Sports.
Oh, you don't want to be doing that.
Exactly.
You don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. Working with Joe.
You're talking your ear off all day.
Mate, couldn't think about anything worse.
Where's the ciabatta?
Nah, no good.
Oh,
Prefer we racing bikes around the track.
Oh,
that's for sure.
100%. And yeah, it's just that Repsol Honda seat just seems like for me, and I think we all agree, it's just a career killer. And look, you look at Mir and Marini at the moment, like I have a joke that like they're just purposely losing the front end like halfway through the race because they just don't want to be there
I feel
anymore.
sorry for me, seriously.
It's hard mentally. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Like it's
Yeah.
in you go into the project with a clear idea, but like being not at the front is hard for
Yeah.
us because we're every person that's there, like we're super competitive, If
And
we,
the ego,
if
just
we
the
play
ego.
tennis, like I'll be
Yeah.
upset if you beat me,
Yeah.
but I'll be genuinely upset. So imagine and that's what, like I said, like with the bikes, it's so hard not being at the front, but because the bike's not where it needs to be, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just mentally it would be super difficult being in their position, but like you said, also it's a different story because they've already had their career, they've won the world championship, like in your example. So then to go back to that would be super, super hard. Like as a rookie stepping up, you get an opportunity to ride MotoGP, so you'd just be happy either way, wouldn't you? But it would
Yeah,
be
that's
really,
right.
really hard if you've already
When you've been
at
there,
the
done
top,
that, it's different ballgame.
winning a world champion, winning races, and then not even coming close to the points, So
Yeah, it'd be different. It'd be so difficult.
exactly.
Yeah, that would really hurt the ego.
He's
Seriously.
your social media manager's taking photos.
Joey's taking it.
Strutting around.
Oh no, he's not supposed to
seriously.
be here tonight. I think he's saying no, don't look at me.
There we go.
Oh goodness.
When you see Moto3 riders jump up to Moto2, it always seems like a big jump, as in it might take a year, 2 years, 3 years to really, I guess, prove themselves and be at the front of the pack. There's obviously a few outliers over the year, but what do you reckon that is?
Depends on the rider.
Yeah,
Honestly,
okay.
I can't say much more about it because it is surprising actually, and like obviously there's many factors into it. Most of the time, the riders that are fast alone, like they ride alone in Moto3, when they step up, they can do well because Moto2 is about being fast. Like I said, Moto3, you get a slipstream, you can do well, or you have a fast bike and you can do well.
Yeah.
Moto2, they're all the same, the same
all
bike, not one thing different, and literally it's whoever is fastest wins. It's not about being super stupidly aggressive because it's literally the way that the spikes are and style of riding is the fastest lap times over the race will win. Which seems stupid to say, but in Moto3 it's not like that.
No, and you could just there's an element of luck being in the right position at the right time at the last lap as well. And
But I think also the big thing is if you cannot adapt to riding many different bikes, then it's even more difficult when you step up. I've been like I like a lot change bikes. Like this, I get good at all the bikes. Like I'll ride anything just to be better at something. Like I'll try a different bike. Maybe it's not the best bike to train on, but it's a different bike, so it's something to learn.
That's a smart way of looking at it. I guess adapting your riding style. It's a really good way. Yeah,
you have to. If not, what are you gonna do? One day you got to go MotoGP. You can't ride the Moto3 like a MotoGP bike.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to adapt. If not, like you're not going anywhere. You can't just have a fixed idea that my riding style is going to be work for that. No, it's not. It's not how it works. Or even this year we had to change it because the tires are different than Pirelli.
Yeah, true. How do you find that?
Well, it's good, but like example, I'm needing to adapt my riding style, and that's why the last 3 races have been. I don't know. Let's put it blank and being quite shit. So
I mean, not shit. I wouldn't say that. You've still been up there, but you haven't been to that.
Not where we want.
Not where you want to be. Yeah.
That's just about adapting the riding style and going from. You got to find their way, and the good part is that like. I'm really determined to be able to, adjust my riding style and do it. So,
what's changed for you?
I'll figure out the way to get through it.
What's different? What do you have to do? How do you have to ride the bike differently with the new tires? You got to sort of get it up on its.
You have to understand the tire, and at the moment, I haven't been able to figure out how it needs to be ridden exactly.
Yep.
But there's many things. You got to keep the temperature in the tire because if not, the pressure drops a lot, which is really really important. The tire degradation is a different way. It goes down and then it gets to a certain point and it just drops.
Notice that in Moto2.
Typical Pirelli.
Exactly. You have to save the tire.
Like Alonso Lopez in Moto2. Just
that's the way he rides, but that's different.
It's just amazing. The drop off of tires is just incredible.
Cool. Exactly. So you got to manage that, and it's everything together. Like you start to get a bit of movement, but it's flexing the tire because it's so soft, the tire, which is good for. Goes super fast. We're 1 second or more faster at every track, every lap. But at the end, you got to learn how to adapt to it and ride around it.
Yeah, like a look at Tony Arbolino, Moto2. He was fighting for a championship, and then I think he's finally starting to get it now. But tires, it's just tire talk. It's just one of the most important aspects, isn't it?
Exactly. But that's another thing. Like Tony Arbolino, he's super talented and stuff, and he's figuring out now how to ride the tire. Okay, it took him time, sure, but it doesn't matter. Like it's not a time thing. As long as you get it sorted eventually, you're going somewhere.
Yeah, exactly right.
The people that don't improve is the problem. You're always improving. Maybe one person takes shorter time than the other, but at one point, as long as you're improving, you're going to arrive one day.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on this tire pressure with MotoGP? Is it just from a rider's point of view, it's obviously a safety thing, but it seems like it's spoiling the racing to a certain extent.
Yeah, but they're trying to get the maximum out of it,
Yeah.
They run less tire pressure, they get better grip, so that's what they're trying to run on the limit, And like you said, it's a safety issue, so they have to, But if they move the limit up, it wouldn't change it, And they can't take the limit away because they'd run no pressure, and then it can become a safety issue. So how do you fix it?
Well, it's true. Well, we had a good point from who was it? Was it Cam was talking about this? Like Pirelli should just set the tire. Michelin should just set the tire pressures on the grid.
That was a fan that said that.
Fan said that, on the grid. Put a technician on every bike, set a certain thing, and then let them race. So then it takes it out of the team's hands.
Maybe, but at the same time, you can't because, example, I like more pressure in the tire.
Yeah.
Less flex. You know what I mean? So it's rider preference also.
Yeah, interesting.
Because you can go up in pressure.
Yeah, of course.
And that does one thing, and the other thing does another. So you got to weigh up the options. It's the same as actually, okay, I'm going to take the technician away from you from the setup because it's the same as the tire. I like my bike set up different to what my teammate does. You know,
Yeah.
so
It's good. It's a very good
it's hard.
point.
You know, it's a hard one to think. But I didn't even realize it must have just started to be a thing, was it? Because I didn't realize it until I seen Assen where Marquez and all that sitting up to go behind to get more temperature.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
bring up
crazy.
tire
Yeah,
pressure, you know.
but it's still been
Has that been always a thing?
it's not
It's
to that
second-
extent.
Second year, isn't it? I
The
think they
second
changed the
year.
rules.
Second year with
Second
the
year.
warnings and
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and it really showcased it in that race because, like, that's not MotoGP.
Yeah.
Like, and it was frustrating from a fan's point of view, like seeing them, seeing Marquez on his screen saying, go, your tire pressure's getting too low. You got to go behind the right. Like, that's not racing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it was just interesting. I thought get your point of view on it, but there's no quick fix.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's no quick fix to it. I wish there was, but a lot of things you just gotta try things and hopefully they end up being a solution. But yeah, I couldn't tell you what it would be right now. That's for sure. You know?
Well, they talk about safety, but it's not safe if Marquez or someone's sitting up mid corner or whatever. It's
a good
not
point,
someone else
yeah.
pass. That's not.
But at least
Yeah.
that's in your control.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
right.
tire pressure. If they drop it and then it pops the tire or whatever, if you're doing
Yeah.
300 k an hour,
Yeah,
it'd be fatal. If he sits up, he's choosing to sit up at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
good point.
It's
for
also not
sure.
safe, but at least it's in your control.
Yeah.
So plans, mate. I mean, obviously next year we've got a new team, and then Moto2, MotoGP eventually, obviously.
Yeah, hopefully last year Moto3 can really put on the results
Yeah.
and deliver and make that step that I think I can and I need. And then go to Moto2 and see how we crack on there, really.
That's awesome.
I think from our point of view, and I want to get your take on this, you'd really suit a Moto2 bike.
I bloody hope so. I love riding the bigger bikes. I ride Superbike a bit. I have a bit, and I really, really enjoy it. I enjoy more the riding as well, to be honest with you. Like, I really, really enjoy riding a bigger bike, sliding around, but sliding around with the power.
Yeah.
Moto3, I don't like to slide it much, but because it's not with the power, it's just about like the momentum. Power sliding with it under your control, I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I think I enjoy it, but like I said, everyone's different. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
For sure, I'll have some fun, and I think in any case, like I've shown, I'd never give up. And okay, like the progress has been a little bit slower in Moto3 than what we wanted to. Like we've been there obviously for fast enough, but we've been struggling for one thing or another. But we've never given up, and we're always coming better and better and better. And I think everyone can see that, and the determination is what the people love about me, and that's what I just got to keep doing. Just keep digging away, mate. Keep digging away, and I think it'll eventually come.
Oh yeah, it'll come. It'll come. And like it's as I said, as you touched on earlier, like it's just so exciting seeing an Aussie up there because unfortunately Jack's had a hard year and a half. So hopefully he'll improve. You got any insight of where he's going next year?
I believe you'll find a seat for sure.
Good.
I got the same idea than everyone else, but I think he would suit well, probably like a Aprilia track house or something like that.
Yeah, grouse.
Or obviously Pramac, he's been there before, so that's possible there. And the good part is like he has a really good relationship with everyone, which is important.
Yeah, relationships.
Because not only we race bikes, you gotta get on with your crew. Like I said, there's many races, so if you're bringing up the atmosphere, like you said, good atmosphere normally makes results happen as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably not helping him now as well. Like, as in he wouldn't be in the best atmosphere at KTM after what happened. And yeah, I mean, I know the feeling. You're getting told you stay and then you're out. So it's not an easy one to deal with.
Yeah, they've gone a different direction, KTM, for next year. I just couldn't believe the riders they've got.
Yeah,
and
it was a blindside.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was, and like it's just I don't know. They just must have clenched the fist in the head office there and gone, we're getting this, and we're moving in a different direction. So
yeah, they're quite hard with their decisions, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, if you look at it as a business, all the decisions they made was quite a good one. If you look at it as a business aspect of things, and I mean, what they got, we got Maverick. Like Maverick's going to be good on a KTM.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for him.
Yeah.
We've got some fans questions for Jolie, don't we?
Yeah.
Inundated.
I was just going to ask before we do that, what do you do when you're not talking bikes, thinking bikes? Do you have any other side hobbies that you like doing, or?
Honestly, not, mate. I
Yeah?
really do motorbikes. Like, obviously, I train heaps with the cycling stuff, so I like the cycling. But actually, you know what I started this year? In Spain, they have paddle. It's like I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
called
it's like-
pickle here. Or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
yeah, pickle.
Oh, pickleball.
Yeah,
Pickleball,
Is that
yeah,
it?
yeah,
But
yeah.
paddles are a little bit different, but similar.
Okay.
It's like a
Um,
small tennis, but like with
it's-
wooden bats.
Yeah, but over
Yeah.
there it's different. It's like
Okay.
it's like not a tennis racket, but it's like in the middle of them
Oh,
two,
right, yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
you bounce it off the wall and stuff.
Okay.
But it's similar rules as
Yeah,
pickleball.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I've never played pickleball, but
Yeah.
I played the paddle this year, and I actually enjoy it. As I was loving it. I was been doing it for a fair bit. With
Yeah, it seems like a
few
lot of,
people
like,
on the team.
Sports people
I
are
know,
playing
Yeah,
that.
they're all
noticed
jumping
everyone
on it.
doing it.
It must be like a low injury or something. Everyone's got around
It's
it.
super addicting. It's really fun. Yeah.
It hasn't really taken off yet, but it's like, Australia, like it happens in America or Europe,
Yeah.
and then it takes like 3 years,
Yeah.
and then it will be obsessed here.
Well, it's been there for ages in
Yeah.
Spain. I've always seen it. I'll never go playing. Yamanaka actually is the one that
Oh, yeah.
introduced me. He called me one day. He's you want to come play paddle? We have a spare spot. I'm like, yeah, I'll go check it out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was so good. And I brought myself a racket and a ball, and then I was like, so I got all the team in there, and then now I'm just going heaps with my team, like as in like my data
that's
guy and stuff
good,
like that.
yeah.
That's
And
cool.
I go with his brother and all that. Yeah, so it's good. Good
That's
fun.
so good.
That's cool. I guess it's kind of good to have something else to take your mind off.
It's good
you
for
know.
disconnect. Like you just, you're having fun. Yeah, and you know, how it is like when you're with the boys and having a good
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
and it's a bit of exercise and good
Yeah,
laugh
that's
for
right.
sure. You know.
That's all right. Like we were talking to we did a pod, Daniel and I, with Remy, and then we were talking about like drift cars and stuff like that. And it's funny because you can really see his face light up talking about something different. Because I guess you're always talking
talking
about
about the same
bikes
thing.
24/7. Like as much as you would love it, I'm sure you would like a little bit of a
For
change.
sure. Well, it's good to disconnect 100%.
Yeah.
Problem
Otherwise,
is
you
it's
go
hard
mad.
for us to disconnect, because always thinking of how I can improve
Yeah.
and do better, so it's difficult. But yeah, it's definitely good to disconnect and be able to go.
Yeah, it was
play
like
games, yeah.
Cam Donald, who were talking about that last week, and he's like, 3 months out or so wound up just thinking about the Ironman TT, and it was just like, gee, you can see his eyes like
Oh yeah.
fucking
God,
crazy.
Crazy.
The off
Crazy.
season's so hard for us. Like, as in, I get to like mid-January and I'm like dying to get back on the bike.
Yeah,
Like I can't think more about how I want to get back on the bike. Drives you insane.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's I mean, it's your passion, it's your love, isn't it? So,
exactly.
and it's your career as well.
Exactly,
Like that's the thing. And
Yeah.
and to wake up every day and to do something that you love is an amazing thing. Because
Exactly.
we sure as hell don't like our day jobs.
Oh, speak for
Not
yourself.
many people do, not many people do.
well, me and Tom then. That's for sure.
yeah. Oh goodness.
Oh, that's funny. All right, I'll get some.
I hope these questions are good.
All right, well, so do we.
Well,
Sometimes-
someone said, are you going to Moto2 next year? So
I won't out him.
Come on, yeah, we won't.
Wasn't it Matt Old?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
No, Matt is a good friend of the pod, but just didn't get the Instagram post with Joel with the new team.
Fake fan.
Gotta follow me on Instagram for it.
Yeah, exactly right.
At Gavin 1975, how do you manage tyres and still go fast? Question from someone who's never raced.
That's actually a great question.
Yeah, it is.
Different riding style that works is like punch in and punch out. That can also save tyre because you're less time on the edge of the tyre. But it depends, because if you race with the medium side of the tyre, it doesn't have as much like edge grip anyway, so you can just pretty much ride it the same, and you just got to try to be a little bit more smooth. With the S tyre, yeah, you'd have to make it punch in, punch out. You don't want to be on the edge of the tyre much, because that's where it destroys it the most. And also it's a heat cycle thing, like as in, especially now with Pirelli, it's different than what it was with Dunlop. But yeah, with the Pirelli, when you're on that one side for a long time is what actually destroys the tyre, because the heat gets more and more on one side, and then it goes cold and then hot. So try to pick it up and take it into different positions of the tyre to save it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go. Fuck, I wouldn't
Oh,
even
no.
know how to do that.
Like when you're watching on telly, you're like, come on, just do this, do that. But like you're obviously tyres and this and
Armchair
that.
experts.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's so many of them, isn't there? So,
Exactly.
but tyres.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
It is.
Unfortunately.
Would you like if Moto 2 or 3 introduced changing of the tyres when it rains or dries out instead of obviously like a red flag? That's
Yeah.
sorry, at Ben_Rothberg.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Although I don't think we have the resources to do it. Like, as in, it would be too much chaos, MotoGP can do it because they have that extra bike, remember? Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah, they can just jump
the
on.
resources would be impossible to have 2 bikes.
And there's what 30? Is there 35 bikes out there in Moto3?
It's massive, isn't it?
Well, imagine doing that at Phillip Island as well. You got the back, the pits,
Yeah.
not everyone's on the
Oh,
front, so you
true.
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
taking out spectators.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work, would
yeah.
it? We saw it
You
at
couldn't do it,
Superbikes
but I
this
would
year.
love it, yeah.
Superbikes, they had a pit stop in the
Yeah,
race.
mandatory.
And that was super interesting watching that because like it's a full pit stop, like taking the tires off. You never do that in MotoGP.
It'd be
It's always swap
interesting to
bikes.
see what they'll do this year, because for tyre degradation at Phillip
Yeah.
Island, it was
Resurfacing.
really, really bad.
Well,
Yeah.
they did it.
Yeah.
They did a mandatory one, I think 2013, when Marquez got black flags.
I think they might have to do it, to be honest with you, because the tyre wear's so bad at Australia GP apparently now. With the Pirellis, we don't know if it will last. Although maybe they bring the harder compound for us, but difficult.
Seriously.
Yeah, that was a big talking point at Supers.
Yeah,
Although,
it was.
That
That were-
super bikes, they need to take out that time limit. I reckon it should
Yeah.
be whoever's the fastest. The
Get
team,
in
if
and
the
get
team's
out.
the fastest.
Yeah, true.
No, no,
I
it's
didn't like that. You have to
No.
wait. You know,
I know it's like a.
that's cool.
It's up the
like
pinnacle
F1,
of
you know?
it's up the pinnacle of motorsport, and it's like
Exactly.
you know you just got to trust the mechanics to do the right thing.
Well, it's like F1. It's
yeah.
interesting because it's up to the team then. You know?
Yeah.
The team
Yeah.
get to play a role in that part. You know.
Yeah,
I think
in
it's
the
cool.
win.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
It's Phillip Island always. There's always something. There's always a mandatory pit stop.
Yeah,
the
something
race
that-
gets
something happening.
cancelled.
The rain, the
Always.
wind.
rain,
Always something interesting. That's for sure.
flooded. It's just there's always something, isn't it? It's crazy. At Shakit since '86. How fast is too fast? Is there a point where you're going too fast?
Never too fast.
Yeah,
Never
that's
too
a dumb
fast. Well, I
question.
guess with MotoGP, might say the different, but I couldn't tell you right now.
Yeah, no, I like it. At CMAC993, what's the best part about being in the MotoGP paddock? You're allowed to say the women.
Let's see. I think traveling to every country. I think that's just special. You know. So, like you said, not many people get to enjoy their job.
Yeah,
How can you complain traveling to
Yeah.
20 different countries and enjoying the life, racing bikes, doing things that you love? So I think it's just that. Like MotoGP itself, it's obviously cool, but I think the main part about it is traveling to every country, and that's what makes MotoGP special. Also, probably also the crowds. The crowds are really awesome.
Oh, that's a
to
very
see.
good answer, Joel. Well done. That's very good.
Nah, but really, yeah. 'Cause it's like they lift you up. You know,
Yeah.
there's 300,000 people out there watching.
Be
It's pretty
amazing
special.
feeling.
It's pretty special when you have that many
And
people
it's
watching.
it's
Yeah.
amazing, and it's good for you to have that home Grand Prix because there would be a lot of few
yeah.
riders out there that wouldn't get that. I mean, like obviously the Colombians wouldn't
Yeah.
get that, so that's a special thing for you. And there's only 4 riders in the paddock that are Aussie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Well, who's got the best facilities? What track's got the best facilities for riders?
Probably Qatar.
Oh, okay, really?
That checks out.
I guess they got all the
Spend
money,
money,
don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably get lifted in via Merc or something like that.
It's like a shopping mall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. This year was spectacular. Yeah. TVs everywhere, like coffee shops everywhere. Like there was a Starbucks there. Like,
That's crazy.
Shit.
yeah.
do you stay there at the track when you?
Nah.
Okay.
Hotel about 20 minutes away always. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? So, like, favorite track to go to? Like, obviously, besides Phillip Island.
Yeah, besides Phillip Island, Indonesia.
Yeah.
You always get a villa, and then I rent a scooter for like $5 a day, and then I'll take the scooter like 20 minutes before the session and just go over and just for the ready to ride. You know what I mean? Like as in,
Yeah.
I'll go over with the scooter. You know, like you put a helmet on, you just go. You know, it's like you ride the scooter straight into your office, get dressed, and go ride bikes. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And
what's
in
it
the afternoon,
like?
Go chase monkeys around. Literally, it's awesome.
You did touch on that before
Yeah,
the pod.
yeah,
What's Indonesia like? Like, is it nice facilities? Is it like, is there lots of hotel rooms? Because we've been looking at like obviously going a few overseas tracks next year. I really want to go to Thailand, but everyone says it's like in the middle of nowhere.
When I recommend people to go, always it's like the Asia route. So it's
Okay.
you know, Thailand, Indonesia, because I think it's way better environment, racing bikes, and enjoying the outside of racing as well than what it would be in Europe, for example.
Yeah.
For me, like it's so special, the international race is so much fun. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier for us to get to as well.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
take that.
Villa's cheap. Like, what more can you ask for? You know.
Yeah, exactly right.
I feel like the flyways always pull up funny results as well. It's always just a little bit different.
What's the track that Europeans didn't grow up riding, do they?
Yeah.
You know, because you think of someone like in Jerez, and it's different to us in Phillip Island, right? Because maybe I've ridden there 5 times, 6 times before MotoGP in my life.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
That in some of the Spanish team will have ridden the tracks literally since they're probably 5-6 years old. And when I mean, maybe they ride there 4 or 5 times in that year. So 4 or 5 times for 10, 15 years is a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Man, for sure.
They know every little bit of that track.
yeah, exactly. So well, it's not even that, because like if only you do so many laps, you'd think it wouldn't make a difference, but it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? For sure, it has to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you're doing that,
If you have your local track in your house, you're obviously gonna be better than someone that comes.
Of course,
there
yeah.
maybe only 10 times in their life. You know.
yeah, repetition. That's all it is, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's like living on the doorstep of Phillip Island. You might get 2 laps in because it won't rain.
Exactly. But you have 2 laps more than the others, wouldn't you? So.
But that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, last one for the. I was about to say
Give it
the
to
hot
us.
takes. At Joe.Marinello.
Oh, that's surprising.
Should we get him in to ask it?
Yeah, come in to
I
ask
can't
him.
remember.
Go on.
What did you ask, Joe? Go on, don't get his camera shy now.
No, don't take his mic.
I'll take Daniel's. The people want to know, Joel, when are you getting a bulldog? That's the real question.
The question behind this.
Yeah, tell us
is
the backstory.
Yeah, so the backstory is that I really, really want to get a dog, because that's the thing I miss the most about having in Europe. But everyone's trying to convince me not. But I just love bulldogs, and I want a bulldog so bad. And yeah, so I'm just trying to convince everyone around me to get a bulldog, but it's just not working at this stage. I told everyone I'm ordering it in January when I get back there, and it's going to be there.
It's like a part.
But I'm not too certain, because I don't know what I'm going to do when I come back for like 4 or 5 months. I don't know what I'm going to do. So it's a touchy one. I've got to figure it out. Because I was looking at like house sitting and stuff. It wasn't that bad. It was like €6, €8 a day. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. And then I'm like, oh, I have to leave the bulldog with someone else. And what if someone else falls in love with my bulldog?
Well, it's like Lewis Hamilton travels with his bulldog.
Yeah, exactly. But I probably have to wait till I'm in MotoGP and traveling with private jet before you can do
Yeah,
that.
the team
So
can pay for the dog's travel. I think
the
that's fair
thing,
enough.
You know? So I want to get a bulldog named Javi.
Okay.
Javi's like the Spanish name that's really common.
Yep.
I want that for my bulldog.
Okay, cool. It's something to aim for. I like that.
Exactly.
All right, we'll endorse that.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%.
We'll sponsor your bulldog. We'll spray paint Motorsport Republica on the side
Little
of it.
sticker.
Oh, I had a bulldog before that was named Kato for KDM, obviously.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I want to get a bulldog. Yeah.
All right. I
Love
like it.
I love it.
Beautiful.
And they're super easy to look after. They sleep all day, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Take it for a
Sleep and
walk
snore.
for 5 minutes, Dewey, and they'll just sleep, you know. So, what better the dog do you want, yeah?
Low maintenance.
That's good.
I think that's it, boys.
Yeah, the boys are freezing cold already.
Yeah, they're all staring at us.
Yeah, hurry up, let's go. Yeah.
I think Joey wants a beer in the palm.
Oh, well,
That's right. What he
Ah,
wants.
gotcha. Well, help
That's
yourself,
what they
mate.
call it.
All right, well, thanks, Joel. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for
so
coming
much
on,
for having
mate.
me.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.